Hi everyone, my name is Mirko and I will make now a series of little videos about archaeological sites in Sardinia in English. I've done already a lot in Italian. I've done now a documentary. If you want to watch it, make sure to go on my channel, Mirko Kulig, and you will see the documentary one on the polygonal walls of Italy. It's called Stone Riddles, and the second is Stone Riddles 2, which is on Sardinian archaeological sites. And so there you can see everything I have done before here in Sardinia. And now I start a new series directly in English, live on Sardinian archaeological sites. So we are here in Bauladu, which is a town here in Sardinia. And here we have the Nuraghe Santa Barbara, which is one of at least 4 other Nuraghes which are called with this name. A Nuraghe is a tower, and as you will see there are massive blocks of stones. And now we'll go and take a look at this one. There are about 8,000 of them in Sardinia. Here we have the entrance with this very big lintel. I would guess about 60 centimeters high and over a meter long, and I don't know how much deep. The door is very small, but I guess there's a lot of debris and earth being accumulated. And we'll go inside. I have to go on my knees. Crawl. Okay, it's completely dark, but I'll turn on a light in a second. Okay, here we are inside. I've taken a light. There's a small corridor which is 4 meters high, and we get to a round room which is, I guess, 5 meters high, and it's like a dome. And these Nuraghes are all made with stones without mortar. There are a few niches. There's one over there, about 1 meter deep and 1.5 meters high. And there's another one over there, which is a little bit higher, and about the same deep, maybe 1.5 meters. There's the entrance again, and the Nuraghe always have this small window over the lintel, which often has the shape, some people say, of the head of a bull, apparently because it was built during a time when the bull was one of the deities of the gods. But that's one possibility. It's, as you can see, completely dark. There's another niche here on this side, and now we go up this very small passage, about 1 meter high. Oh, it's not going to be easy to go through this with the camera. I can see. I think I have to turn it off and go through it. Just a second. Okay, this is the niche where I just came up, the passageway. Jordan is coming out at the moment, and we are on top on this small Nuraghe. As you can see, there's quite a lot of other structures which are now really in a bad state of preservation, but still one can see that it was not just one tower. Oh shit. I just had my hat flown away by the wind. Not a big problem. And we can climb to the highest part here. Oh, there's a quite nice passageway among the bushes. All right. And here we have 360 degrees view over central Sardinia, central West Sardinia. We are just about 20 kilometers from the sea, As I was saying before, there's about 8,000 Nuraghe, other structures like giants' graves that we will see in a while, maybe in another video. And no one really knows what they were made of for. Officially, archaeologists think they were fortresses, so somehow having a military purpose. But I personally believe they were not that, because it makes no sense to make 8,000 towers and they are completely dark, as you could see. The corridors are very narrow, so no way to pass with an armor or something. But officially they are fortresses. I believe they were certainly religious and spiritual places, maybe also for healing or other purposes like that. But anyway, you can watch my documentary, I repeat, Stone Riddles 2, Archaeological Treasures of Sardinia, where I show you at least 15 Nuraghe and other stuff you can find here in Sardinia. And I will just tell you all the different theories that there are about these sites. And then you can make up your own mind. Okay, let's take a quick walk among these ruins. As you can see, they're usually rounded. They have a round shape. Stones are big, but these are, I think, stones like the bedrock. And there are a few strange structures down there, which are clearly carved out of stone. I have no idea what this might have been. Some rounded pieces of stone. Yeah, not much left besides the Nuraghe. And there you can see the Nuraghe. In the corner, you can see Deborah. So it's quite a massive structure. Actually, you don't get a sense of scale if there's no man on it. But they are, I would guess, this one maybe 10 meters across. The room inside was about 5, so they have these massive walls around. And yeah, quite a mystery. They are officially dated at least 1500 BC, but I personally believe they were older. And the interesting thing is that they're not polygonal in the strict sense of this word, but the stones are apparently casual. They don't seem to have been like sculpted or carved in a particular way, but still the general shape is always very precise. If you notice the walls coming up on the sides, even if the stones are very regular, they perfectly have this shape of a cone. And we don't really know what was on top, also because they have often been like utilized for other purposes. Here around us, a lot of little walls from the peasants, from the shepherds, and they're obviously made of pieces of Nuraghe, so they have been used and reused. The stones have been taken off for building purposes, for more recent stuff. You see there's a whole bunch of stones here in this little bush, and they are obviously coming from the Nuraghe. See, on this side there's others over there. And so, as I said, this culture, the Nuraghe culture, which allegedly made these, didn't have any writing. We don't have any recounts from the times of people visiting the island and the people who built these structures. So what archaeologists say today are just speculation. They might have been fortresses, maybe some of them were, but in other Nuraghe we have seen also astronomical alignments. And so this usually indicates a more religious or sacred purpose than just a fortress. You don't need to align a fortress to any astronomical body like stars or the sun or the moon, equinoxes, solstices and stuff like that. So I'm just walking a little bit around to show you the size of the whole site, and there's 8,000 of them. So just the day before yesterday we visited 4 Nuraghe. Some are like with a ticket, the best preserved, because they might have more than one tower. Sometimes they have 4, 5, 6, even 8, 10 towers. So they really become complex structures. But most of them are just single tower Nuraghe, like this one. And they're free. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. We had to take about 1 kilometer of dirt road. We had to stop a little bit way down the road because it was too bad for our car. Couldn't pass through. And so, yeah, you can just come here and see them. And sometimes you're lucky, like this one. It's a nice one. There's Jordan climbing on the walls. This one is a nice one. It's still got an intact inner room. Others don't have anything like that, so they're maybe full of earth, or they're in a worse shape and state of preservation. So it comes up to you, but there's so many different that you can really have a good time going through them. And I'm now gonna be here for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna visit certainly other sites, and I'm gonna make videos in English this time, so that also my English, like English people who follow me in English, can have somehow some real-time impressions of these sites. But if you know a little bit of Italian, or you want to use the YouTube subtitle feature, I have about 40 or 50 other videos on Sardinian archaeological sites, and I have another 40 or 50 of other sites around Italy and elsewhere. So while I was uselessly talking about the Nuraghe, Jordan walked around and he found another little room, which most likely is another tower. We're just behind the main tower now. And here there's this small room, almost completely broken down, but there seems to have been a passage going to the other Nuraghe. In fact, there was a niche on this side, on the other, which I interpret as a niche, but it might have been a passage. I've seen that before. And this is definitely a niche. And here I think there's at least 2 meters of debris and earth, which filled the whole tower. So the passage wasn't obviously so low. Now it's about half a meter high, but it certainly was higher before. Yeah, so we have found, it might not have been a single tower Nuraghe, but a complex Nuraghe. And there's these strange plants here, beautiful. And here you can see the outer wall, and it was definitely a multiple tower Nuraghe, because these are the surrounding walls of the structure. There's an olive tree. There's another strange entrance there, which I guess might have been some kind of slit or something now. I don't know. And there's stones everywhere, reutilized by shepherds for their purposes. I'm trying to find a way through. Okay. Here you see the back side of the tower, and here on the side we can see part of the wall and the tower itself. And just to give you a sense of scale, Jordan, vai vicino a quella pietra, quella più grossa. Yeah, that's the size of the stones here. Jordan is about 1.60 meters high, so it's a good meter, almost a meter across. And it's not the only one, of course. I've seen bigger stones in Nuraghe, but this is infamous. It's a not known Nuraghe. I mean, you have to look for it by yourself. I just found it by chance because I was searching for another Nuraghe Santa Barbara, which I have been visiting before, and Google would propose as results at least 4 or 5, and this one appeared to be quite close to where I was staying, so I said let's go take a look. Ecco, queste sono ancora più grandi. These are bigger stones. Vai vicino a quelle lì. Oh no, this is one big. Yeah. I mean, these are all over a ton in weight. The stone is a porous basalt, and this is probably the biggest. Jordan? And we don't know how much debris has accumulated because it was certainly lower here. You can see this stone is almost as large as Jordan is tall. Yeah, that's a big one. Definitely a big one. Cannot even see where it starts, but it's over a meter high. So, who were these people that here in the middle of nowhere built 8,000 towers like this, some simple, some complex, with huge stones? Who were these people? From my point of view, we still don't have an answer to that question. Okay, that's about it for today. Keep tuned, I will be making other videos on Sardinia. Bye bye.